This is planet Mars, the fourth planet in our solar system and the next frontier for humans. Over the years, we have sent a number of probes and landers to the Martian surface. In the year 2020, three countries sent three separate missions to Mars. This is the Perseverance rover launched by NASA in August 2020. You can see how big this rover is. It's equivalent to the size of a mini SUV. These are a couple of pictures which will show you how the rover was attached to this lander. This is the United Launch Alliance rocket that's going to send the rover to Mars. The rover is actually kept in the top part of the rocket called as the fairings or inside the fairings. That is the location of the rover. So the rover is kept inside the lander and the lander is inside the fairings, as you can see. Now let's see how the rocket was launched in August 2020. So as you can see here, the ULA rocket launched with the Perseverance rover in August 2020, and it went through various stages before the lander was placed in the orbit to Mars. So the launch happened and slowly you can see the rocket breaking the sound barrier, and after that the boosters would be separated. So this is what you saw just now is where the rocket passed the sound barrier, the speed of sound, right? Really cool images that you can see here. This camera is actually placed outside the rocket, which is actually helping us to see the different stages in which the rocket is going through. Now this is pretty much the same for any type of rockets that you can see spent by any companies or any countries. They go through multiple stages or phases to get the satellites or probes into the different orbits that we have. So now you can see a little part of space on the top left part of the screen. So clearly the rocket is almost into space right now. Apart from NASA, the other two countries that sent probes or landers to Mars in the year 2020 was UAE and China. All the three launches from USA, UAE and China were all successful launches. Now you can see the boosters getting separated. These are the boosters on the bottom part of the rocket. So slowly these boosters would be landing back to Earth in some oceans, which would be retrieved. Now from a ULA perspective, these boosters will not be reused, but SpaceX has mechanisms by which these rockets or boosters would be reused. The Perseverance mission consists of a rover as well as a helicopter. This is the first time a helicopter would be flying on the surface of Mars, and NASA would be taking credit of flying this for the first time. The next section that would go out from the rocket are the fairings on the top part of the rocket. In a short while, you would see the fairings going out, as you can see here. This is the top part of the rocket. The fairings actually houses the lander and the rover. So now the lander and the rover is exposed to space because there are no fairings to cover it. The next section that would go out would be the main booster engines from this rocket. In a short while, you would see the main booster engines being separated from the rocket. So this is how the main booster engines, this is the main booster engine. So that is being separated right now. So only the top part would now be there in space. The main booster engines would again return back to Earth and it would be collected by ULA. Again, ULA will not be using it. Again, SpaceX has mechanisms to use these main booster engines again and again because they tend to land it on a surface. But I don't think ULA will be trying to use it. The visuals that we saw earlier was on a camera on the main booster engine. Now, since that main booster engine is making its way back to Earth, this is another camera placed underneath the main or the top part of the rocket, which is housing the lander as well as the probe. You can see a beautiful Earth on the top left corner, and the space on the right side. You can see the Earth slowly revolving because the spacecraft is actually traveling very fast. The next section that would be separated from this rocket is the lander, which houses the rover and the helicopter. In a short while you should see it getting separated. Yes, so let's see. So this is how the lander is getting separated. You can see solar panels. Solar panels are actually on the top part of this lander. So you can see the lander slowly drifting off into space on its long journey to Mars. The lander is actually expected to reach Mars in February 2021. So it's a long and a very cold journey out in space.